What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. I'm live and direct in full effect with my homeboys out the one out the 901 and the other one out the 662, and y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping, man? Craig and Trey.
What's going on, man? Glad to be back finally on the live and shit. Been a long time coming. Me and my boy, little pretty Tony SLT Murphy. We've been working these crazy ass schedules, these off days and shit. Let me make a nice little announcement right quick. Speaking of T Murphy, this edition of Live and Direct with the Jimmy J Smooth Network has been brought to you in part by Trey Styles Custom and Designs. There's nothing that this man cannot customize. Hit him up for all your NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, FCS soccer, UFC, special occasion, and all the other needs. He does masks, hats, shirts, whatever. Name it, he got it. That's right. Hit our guy up, Trey Styles Murphy, aka T Murphy. He will give you what you need. Satisfaction. Guaranteed. And
send me a link so I can get on, because I ain't got. We're still on the phone and stuff, so.
Yeah, so we gave this man a little plug, but my boy T Murphy can't join us live, but he joined us in spirit through the phone. So
I can't just send me the link. I got you.
All right, okay. Send him the link, Jimmy.
Okay. We can do that. We can do that live and direct, man.
All right, Murph.
Once I do that, I'm hanging up.
Okay. That's totally fine there. Because I can still hear you, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send it through Messenger, so.
Yeah, he sent it through he said send it through Messenger.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, so we've been working all these little crazy schedules and shit, man. And let me say this here. I'm not gonna broadcast out to the public where I work, but if you ain't got vaccinated, y'all, get it.
No. I wouldn't recommend. Stop. Don't.
Wait. If you want your job, wait. Because some famous people here in Memphis have put out a mandate by saying that, hey, we need to everybody need to go and get vaccinated by September 9th. And if you haven't been vaccinated by September 9th, September 10th, starting September 10th, you will be placed on a 2-week administrative leave, unpaid administrative leave, which means it's buying you time to get the shot. And if you ain't took that shot within 2 weeks, holla at you. So all I'm just saying is, if you want your job, y'all getting the shot. Wait a minute, y'all getting the shot is entirely up to you. But if you all want if you want your job or whatever, and where I work, and especially where I work, and if you working in that kind of field, that's paying you about damn near half of an NBA player's salary contract, just excuse me, just do the right thing, because some people, hey, I got vaccinated, I'm cool, but I understand. I respect some folks' beliefs about them not getting the shot or whatever. But because I've been looking on YouTube, man. Some places down there in Florida, even though I've got a shout out to our boy down there, Florida Democratic Congressman Alcee Hastings, the realest nigga, the realest dude, the realest black dude that busts out and said that Texas is a crazy ass state. It's a crazy ass state. So,
all right, guys, I'm so now. So,
yeah, so because if some cities in Florida get ready to crack down on folks about this, hey, there's some straight business. But if y'all don't want to get the shot, that's on y'all. I ain't got no problem with it. But
I would say I would say let them have better research. At least they rush these vaccinations first of all. So that's why I'm totally against it. I don't fuck with vaccinations in general, but it takes 5 to 10 years to perfect a vaccination for a vaccination to reduce the side effects. I've already retweeted 1,000, probably like 5 tweets in the last at least week of people dying in spite of being fully vaccinated. So that's why I'm not recommending that vaccination. Mainly, if people trying to force feed these employers need to be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. Because out there in Florida, it was a famous doctor who worked at the University of Miami. He was fully vaccinated. The guy ended up dropping dead.
Yep.
He was a proponent of vaccinations. So
Mm.
until they get this shit together, and I damn sure not gonna trust Pfizer with a racist ass history, who has a history of supporting eugenics program. This is documented. You can look this up right now. They supported Margaret Sanger, who said black people need to be spayed and neutered. This is
Yep,
what
I
she
saw that.
said.
Yeah, I remember that. That's why I got the
So
Moderna shot. So I got the
The nerve,
Moderna.
even
the nerve of this little bitch.
Yeah, even that, you
Wow.
gotta even that. Most of these vaccinations have propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is a rest haven for cancer. Look this up. This ain't me just bumping my gums. And I have like 5 medical experts. I've talked to a person in Brazil, and out of all the black countries in the world, Brazil has the most COVID-19 rates of all of them in the entire world. I've had a nurse got sick from the vaccination. You know what I'm saying? And if you want the screenshot, I will give you the screenshot of that. But she said she got sick from the vaccination. So until these people get their shit together and perfect this vaccination like a effective vaccination supposed to be, because 1 year is not a good time for vaccinations. You got to do the research. You got to know what the side effects. They push this out here. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
until they get it together, I would not recommend it at all, because people need to do their research, because when you're giving somebody a vaccination, you're giving somebody a small strand of the disease that you're trying to vaccinate somebody from. So
Mm.
people need
Mm.
so you know what I'm saying? So before I even recommend any of this stuff, I don't give a damn if these employers want to force you to take a vaccination. You can always get a new job. You can't get a new life. This ain't no fucking Mortal Kombat. This ain't no fucking Street Fighter. This ain't no Fantasyland ass goddamn life of yours. You only get one life to live. So you know what I'm
Ready
saying?
to see what I
So
mean, man?
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it is what it is, man. But continue.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go on, do this truck driving shit or something, because I don't know about that shit, man. Don't
Yeah.
make me get nothing. If the country of United States ain't making people get it, what the fuck? How the fuck are y'all making people get it?
Yeah, and Texas already had a mandate out here that say that employers can't force you to get it. Now, the only exception is the medical field, but even they're having a pushback on it, because they're rushing this thing. So that's the major
Right.
problem more than anything. They're rushing this vaccination, and it takes 5 to 10 years for these vaccinations to be perfected. And plus, you got to put a patent on all these vaccinations. Once you perfect it, there's not even a patent on these vaccinations. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I have to disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these people they making money. Go to another company. Go to another company. You know what I'm saying? Because you only got one life to live. That's my thing.
And
But
I like this
Yep.
gig, but I don't know, man. I might just have to give it up.
Yeah.
yeah, and
And
I
You
feel
you
you on it.
I feel Jimmy on that too, man. And and like I said, in respect to myself and Murph's employer, I didn't say the name. I just said some famous people.
Oh no,
So,
That's
say it.
fine.
Same dude, goddamn.
you know,
That's fine. Man, and I
Same
respect
dude.
St. Jude. But again, people have to do research. We have to be critical thinkers about certain stuff. Don't let people shame you into doing something that is just not healthy for your body. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what this thing got in there that's 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. That can probably fuck up your whole biological makeup. Now,
Yeah.
if it's 5 years afterwards, okay, knock yourself out. If you feel whole bitch 19 is going what's popping and what's dropping, MJ's total fitness and wellness and solutions, what's popping and what's dropping, brother. But yeah, man,
salute.
I mean, but my thing is we need to be more critical thinkers. We need to be like, okay, what is in this thing that could cause me to die? What allergic reactions that I may possibly have that may set something off before I take this vaccination? These people are not telling you everything about this vaccination.
I already
You
know.
know,
And
they're
then,
not.
like I said, it could be possible mutation,
Exactly. It
possible
could be possible
mutation.
fertility problems. You know what I'm saying? It might be something in there to where yeah, all of us don't out here don't have kids, but who's to say we might not want kids 2 or 3 5 years down the line? You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being the old pappy, but you know what I'm saying, I may want some goddamn kids 5 or 10 years down the line. So, and it might be something in there to where it fucks my sperm count up. You know what I'm saying? Or if
Yeah.
I bang a bitch, I might end up having genital warts. We don't know that because this is but we don't know that. They rush this shit.
Well, Craig, you don't want somebody vaccinated, man, on here.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop you, man. Because we have to that's why I had to stop you, man. That's why I had to stop you, man, because we have to do research before we start recommending things. You know what I'm saying? Every time I get on this show, if I'm going to recommend something, I'm going to do my research on here. Just like I talk about the military. I don't recommend my black people to go to the military. I understand. Yeah, but I understand. Let's say a nigga from Flint, Michigan, some goddamn where he dealing with dirty ass water. He might need to get the fuck out of Flint, Michigan, and the military do target Flint, Michigan, because they did have a documentary about that. But he might need to go to the military out of Flint, Michigan, with that dirty ass, pissy, shitty ass water out there in fucking Flint, Michigan. He might need to.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
exceptions to the rule of what I'm saying. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, before you go through all the commotion, hey, take up a trade, and then, you might not want to, go through PTSD and all that shit. And then it takes forever for you to get a PTSD claim anyway. Now, I know people personally in my personal life that ended up getting full military benefits, but that's a process. That's not an easy process to get through. You know what I'm saying? It might take you 5, 10, 20 years before you get that PTSD claim. I'm just saying. So, but a person from Flint, Michigan, or anywhere in Michigan, Grand Rapids, most of Michigan, the poverty rate among black people is a bitch and a hoe. So he might need to get the fuck up out of Michigan somewhere. But for everything, but what I do is I do research on shit. Even basketball. When I talk about basketball, dude, I talk about it from a position of research. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were talking about Bob Dandridge. You know what I'm saying? Even shout out to Too Raw for TV. He made me go do some damn research, and I seen highlights of him. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker cold right here.
Yeah, Bob
You know
Dandridge
what I'm
is a
saying?
bad boy, man.
Yeah, he was. I don't think Milwaukee even win that championship without Bob Dandridge, because we're talking about Oscar Robinson was an old dude when he went to Milwaukee, when he was mentoring Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, Kareem was at the peak of his career, but they needed a third good player to, what I'm saying, help them seal the deal. So it's all about doing our research before we recommend anything, because it's a lot. It's a fucked up agenda out here. You know what I'm saying? So we have to think twice, and we have to be critical thinking. Okay, how is this going to affect me 2 to 5 years down the line? You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't think like that, guess what? You know what I'm saying? If we don't stand up for something, we'll fall for anything. So that's my spiel on this shit right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about this NBA Finals, which I'm first off, before I say anything else, I want to congratulate the Milwaukee Bucks. I know I've been calling y'all the Mil Salty Cucks. The Mil Salty Sucks. I've been calling y'all. I've been getting on your ass. But shout out to my boy 78 Sports, who's a longtime Milwaukee Bucks fan. That's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's real people, man. So I always listen to his show every day. But shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. because, and I even said I didn't predict that Milwaukee was going to win. We all three of us said we thought Phoenix was going to win. Every
Yeah,
last one of us
yeah,
was
Yeah.
wrong, but we did predict if they do the right thing, such as do dribble drive basketball, they were going to win. And if they don't jack up 1,000 threes and go to the inside game, they were going to win, and that's exactly what happened. Now, on the flip side of that, because shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we're gonna get on him in a minute. But Phoenix, let's be honest here, and I'm not dissing your team, my boy 78. So please understand, I'm putting this in basketball context. Phoenix fucked up the championship.
They
Here's
did.
why.
They did.
They really did.
Booker
First of
shooting
all,
got cold, man.
and not just that. Monty Williams is a big. I'll say he takes 70% of the blame. The rest of the blame goes on the players, except Chris Paul, on the exception of, I want to say, Game 4. That was the only real off bag of Reggie ass game he had. That's the only bag of Reggie game I can say he had. But other than that, he was the only guy that was really playing from start to finish. But Booker disappointed me. Aiden disappointed me. The whole team just lost the will to win, first of all.
Yeah, because I mean, and they did good in the first 2 games, bro. But what the fuck? And Monty, and what I really didn't like was the fact when Monty Williams decided to go small on Milwaukee. I'm like, have you lost your fucking mind?
That was the beginning of the end of their championship. That was the beginning of the end, because after they blew that 18-point lead in Game 5 at their house, that was the beginning of the end. First of all, you don't go small. You know what I'm saying? With your best players on the bench, you don't go small like that. You step on the gas. You step on the gas. This dude, I think the tallest player on the court at that time was like 6'7", I think it was. And that's how Milwaukee got back in the game, and they didn't relinquish the lead at that point, man. They came all the way back probably within 5 minutes of the game. And
so you're gonna go small with a 6'11" Giannis on the floor.
Exactly. That's why I was
having small forward. Oh my god, man.
Ain't that stupid?
That's why I was saying
7 feet tall, damn, but and a small forward. Ain't no way in hell I'm finna go small on him. Hell no.
And here's another fuck up that they did. Poor help defense, especially when it pertained to Giannis. Especially when it pertained to Giannis. Ain't no way in hell Giannis is gonna score 50 points on me. And if he score 50 points, he gonna be shooting jumpers all night. If he score 50, if you score 50 shooting jumpers all night, you earn that thing. This man had the highest game closing points in history.
I'd be like Barkley. I'll be like Barkley. I heard him flagrant foul. I heard him. Like when they were talking about Kobe scoring 80. They asked Barkley on inside stuff. Would he score that on your team? They asked Barkley would Kobe score 80 on his team. He said, hell no. He said, I had to hurt him.
but nigga, Michael Jordan scored 55, so I don't think 55 on his team. So I mean, what he gonna do? I mean, they were best friends though at the time. So you don't want to hurt your best friend now. And then Karl Malone bust 50 on him one night. So from my research, so no, he when he was at Phoenix, Karl Malone bust 50 on him one night. So no, dude. Yep. I mean, he might try to hurt him. Yeah.
Now Karl Malone now one of the other player that you don't try now. It's a country boy. You better not come to him.
Monroe.
Hold your ass with them sharp ass elbows.
Oh yeah, but Monty Williams' biggest flaw was allowing dribble drive basketball to happen, because Mike Bootyholer, as I call him, Mike Bootyholer, aka Mike Budenholzer, he was going to lose that series. And that's why I got on him in game 2. I was clowning his ass in game 2 because I'm like, dude, you shooting your team out of the game. But lo and behold, Giannis scoring those 40-point games, that's what made him change up the coaching. So I'm gonna give him credit where credit is due. He readjusted what lost him the last 2 conference finals. Because normally Milwaukee has a history of sitting at the perimeter with no kind of motion, no kind of going to the basketball. But that changed. You saw Chris Middleton, who has a history of jacking up a bag of Reggie-ass jumpers. He was going to the hole. He was posting up and shit like that. But Monty Williams failed to give out help defense in there. As soon as they got past the 3-point line, if anybody's driving past the 3-point line, I'm finna start double teaming. And if I see Giannis is finna get double teamed every time I think about him. He's gonna get, if he touches the ball, if he's out 20 feet, I'm finna double team him all night. Now I might lose the game because somebody else might get open, but you damn sure is not finna score 3 40-point games on me. You finna work for every shot. You get 40 shooting it from the outside, shooting from 20 feet. I get it, but I just
like to add that Giannis is not fucking Greek. He's Nigerian. People they want to have down that Greek shit. When his family really from Nigeria, they just moved into Greek. Fucking Nigerian, African.
And they discriminated against him when he came into there. That's another thing they don't talk about. They highly discriminated against them. They treated them like illegal immigrants. He even said that. He lives in Milwaukee now. He doesn't even live in Greece no more. He represents them in international competition, but he doesn't live in Greece no more. I thought
he was representing the Nigerian team. Okay.
He's representing the Greece team, but I mean, he should represent the Nigerian.
Shit, man, fuck them.
But we're gonna get to the Nigerian team. But he is from Nigeria. But nonetheless, shout out to Giannis, because I'm gonna tell you about this whole series. Giannis and a little bit of Brook Lopez proved to why you need a inside game. This series proved.
Throughout history of NBA, you got to have some type of big man.
Yeah,
solid big man.
On the exception of some of the Golden State teams, and even then, had they had
solid though with what's his name? What's the dude name?
Andrew
the
Bogut.
Australian guy.
That dude was trash. Bogut was trash.
He was all right inside.
He was alright, but you need somebody that's gonna get you points when those Bag and Reggie start missing though, man. You can't shoot.
Well, hold up.
Right. Go ahead, talk your shit.
David Lee. The white boy that he was going. Yeah, he wasn't garbage. Cause when he told Cleveland's ass up in that finals, Cleveland wasn't expecting that shit.
But they were not.
Cleveland didn't. Cleveland and Steve Kerr delivered the best answer ever to a question. Well, why you didn't tell us that you were gonna that you was gonna put something, you was gonna put somebody or whatever the player was in, but instead you put David Lee in. I lied.
But
you don't give away strategy. You don't give away strategy.
But nonetheless, those guys, if they had at least a decent inside scorer, they would not have needed Kevin Durant. Let's say DeMarcus Cousins, they got DeMarcus Cousins before injuries had happened. They would have been straight, because guess what? They can shoot threes all day, and then when those Bag of Reggie jumpers start coming into play, guess what? You got somebody that can score inside and out. So Milwaukee proved by playing dribble drive basketball and feeding Giannis, you need an inside. You need an inside scorer. I mean, the art of inside scoring is lost in the NBA because everybody think they Steph Curry. Listen, guys, everybody ain't Steph Curry. Everybody ain't John B. Thompson. Everybody ain't the Golden State Warriors. You're just not. Some people can shoot it out of the gym, But sometimes you need to, if they gonna if they gonna let me go 1-on-1 with DeAndre Ayton and let me go 1-on-1 with Jay Crowder, okay, of course I'm gonna get these trash ass buckets. I need it. You know, like Rick Ross say, I need cash. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
need inside buckets. So shit, I'm finna, and the thing was, a lot of Giannis's points was coming 10 feet or less of the game. He went 3 of 17 from the 3-point line the entire NBA final series. He
Yeah.
went 3 of 17. So had they forced him out on the outside, they would have had a better chance. But he was getting they kept on letting that boy get that spin move. They had no double team. They had no kind of help defense, and they were letting that boy shine. And the same with Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was an X factor. He was scoring a little trash buckets, and he was one of the players that got
Mm-hmm.
them back in that 18-point lead. So teams need to focus on investing in inside scoring. They need to focus. I mean, I get you want guys to have a 3-point shot. I understand that, but at the same time, you need somebody that can work out down low, because guess what? Every time you look up, the Phoenix Suns was in foul trouble. Why? Because he kept on going to the cup. He kept on getting trash points, and I would get those trash ass points too. That's what you're supposed to do. You make it easier on
Yeah.
yourself. If they're not going double team, triple team the post and make me shoot from the outside, you know what I'm saying? They don't make me shoot a bag of Reggie jumpers. I'm finna dominate too, and that's where Monty Williams fucked
Mess
up.
up.
Monty Williams fucked up by not double teaming Giannis. The key to getting Giannis is if he getting the ball up the court, you do a Kawhi Leonard, you meet that boy up the court, or you double team him. The same thing Nick Nurse did when he saw him when he got the ball at the perimeter. Nick Nurse didn't take no chances at all. He double teamed that motherfucker. He was not comfortable at all. Yeah, you scored 25 points in that series, but but the percentage game is gonna go against you. You're not gonna
Yep.
do that ugly ass spin move. You're not gonna get your way, bro. You know what I'm saying? You better learn how to shoot a jumper. You know what I'm saying? And one
Yeah.
more thing about Giannis. People need to give Jason Kidd his credit by working with Giannis.
And Giannis
And
took up. And Giannis took up for him, and Giannis spoke out publicly about him getting fired.
exactly.
And that was right. And that was wrong. I
They
mean,
didn't give Jason Kidd enough time, man.
that's all it was.
The whole Milwaukee team that they have now. I mean, of course, you had some guys that was traded, but the key pieces like Lopez, Middleton,
Holiday.
when Malcolm Brogdon was there, but when Eric Bledsoe was there, he built that entire team because before.
I wouldn't count it. Well, back up.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish because I'm gonna miss my train. I'm gonna miss my train of thought. They were already those guys was averaging. Those guys was already averaging double figures among the starting 4 of the 5 starting lineup. They were already a finished commodity. They just needed to drive the Lexus through the interstate on the HOV lane. That's the only thing. And the management had beef with Jason Kidd. That was the issue more than anything. Those guys was already ready. He needed enough time to get them to where they did. The only thing Mr. Booty Holer had to do right now is basically install an offense that was effective. That's the only thing he had to do. But Jason Kidd built that team already. The team, just like Mark Jackson with Golden State. I don't give a damn what anybody else say. Without Mark Jackson, Golden State wouldn't be shit. And the same with Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd built this team. He built Giannis. He mentored Giannis. He made that boy play defense. He made that boy become a better passer. He's a very underrated passer in the NBA right now. He would not be where he is right now without Jason Kidd. That team would not be where they are without Jason Kidd right now. Because somebody has to build the foundation. Budenholzer did not build the foundation of this
Well,
team at
you
all.
know how it is
Jason
though.
Kidd's work was already there. Talk your shit. Talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit.
Well,
Talk your shit, T.
to the white listeners, I'm sorry. It's not sorry, but every time
Sorry.
every
Not
time a black
sorry.
coach every time a black coach build a team, he always get his ass booted, and then the white man come and win with the team. And the fans they start hopping on, man. We've been needing this all along, man. I mean, fuck Mark Jackson and fuck Jason Kidd, man. This is the black fans and stuff. This is a breath of fresh air. The black coach always come win behind the team because, like Golden
Murph
State,
got a point.
Mark Jackson did build that team. I watched it.
Yep.
He did build a
I
team.
did too.
They didn't play for him. I don't know why. I don't know why they act like that toward him, man. It seemed like an alright dude. And I already know Jason Kidd is proven. He won the ring, plus took a Nets team to the finals twice. You wasn't gonna beat LA. You just wasn't.
No.
Because Shaq was too much.
Right.
And they had San Antonio beat, but I don't know what happened in that seventh game. No, I'm like, damn, they had them motherfuckers beat.
They was soft in the middle, man, with the twins. One of the twins. I think I think he was the one that came out.
Right. That's true.
So,
that's true.
Well, I mean, he was already there anyway. So, but anyway, you weren't gonna do nothing with Tim Duncan. Shit.
And Tim Duncan had one of the best closeout games in history. I think he had like 30 points, 18 rebounds, and David Robinson left with like 15 points and 17 rebounds. And I think Tim Duncan had he damn near had a quad double in that series. But they took him out the game. Popovich took him out of the game though. You know what I'm saying? But he had like 7 blocks, 8 assists, some shit like that. He was going ham on them boys. So they wasn't gonna beat San Antonio. No, not with that. Not with that team. They wasn't gonna beat San Antonio or LA. But he did give them. He did put sweat on them boys' back though. Let's just be honest about that though, man. So like you say, go ahead, T. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Jason Kidd, one of my favorite all-time players, anyway. So I like Jason Kidd. So
I like him too because Jason Kidd, 28 years ago, T. Murphy and Jimmy McWright. Jason Kidd, Murphy fell out.
He can come on. He can come on back, but
he come on back. Jason Kidd did us North Carolina fans the greatest solid ever of all time when he put Bobby Hurley and Grant Hill out of the goddamn tournament. I loved it. They didn't have no answer. Coach K didn't have no answer for Jason Kidd. They didn't have no answer for Jason Kidd, man. Woo! And that's my throwback Thursday basketball game, y'all. 1993 NCAA tournament, Cal against Duke. Jason Kidd is forever in the hearts of us Tar Heel fans because if it wasn't for Jason Kidd putting the Puke Devils out, we weren't going to win the national title.
You don't think so?
No. If it wasn't for Jason Kidd putting the Puke Devils out, we weren't going to win the national title. Now, sadly, Jason Kidd and Lamar Murray got their ass whooped by a former Carolina great who's probably at home and who's right now somewhere in North Carolina, wherever he's at, enjoying retirement right now, Roy Williams. Shout out to him. They got their ass whooping the Sweet 16.
By Kansas.
Yep. It's first and foremost about with Jason Kidd. I'm glad Mark Cuban listened because I think Jason Kidd, he'll do good with them. And then LeBron, and then your boy, T. Murphy, was trying to talk Jason Kidd into staying with the Lakers on the bench. What's his face was trying to talk him to stay in LA on the coaching staff, and we all know who what's his face is. But when you look at that coaching staff, Jason Kidd basically got the 2011 Mavs. 10 years later, have come back full circle. Dirk Nowitzki is a special advisor. Jason Terry is an assistant coach. And there's another dude that was on that team. Jason Kidd named him the associate head coach.
Is it J.J. Bavera? Barrera.
JJ Barrera. Yep, thank you. JJ Barrera was associate head coach. Jason Terry is assistant coach, and Jason Kidd the head coach. And Dirk Nowitzki is a special advisor to the team. Now I'll be damned. Look at that. 10 years later, that championship team was going to come back together, and I'll be damned if Jason Kidd didn't do it. So I think, but first and foremost, Jason gonna have his work cut out for him with Luka, because Murph has some opinions about Luka. I agree with him. I've been saying it along for the longest. And I'm not.
He got to work on his defense, man.
Yeah, definitely. He got to work on his defense. Shit, Skip Bayless said the same thing. Luka got to work on his defense. Said Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki was a trash, and Jimmy even said Dirk Nowitzki was a trash defender himself. But shit, the man already did, but he Hall of Fame. Shit, but he was also gonna be Hall of Fame, and he won the title.
He won a ring,
and he won a ring.
And won a ring with a team that hasn't won a ring. He was a star of a team that hasn't ever won a big ship before, or been there for lack of injury.
Now they came close. One couple times in the West Conference Finals against the Showtime Lakers, because it was one year they damn near almost. Look it up, Jimmy. I think it was the 87, 88, 88, 89 Lakers.
I know exactly.
That's an 8 because they damn near put the Lakers. They had
with Fetch Lever and Orlando Blackman them.
Yep.
Yeah, Orlando Black. Yep.
Ronaldo Blackman. Yes.
Mark Aguirre before they.
Mark Aguirre before they traded him. Before that basically killed the Dallas franchise there. When they traded Mark Aguirre to Detroit, and Mark Aguirre was coming off the bench. Mark Aguirre was coming off the bench and wasn't producing shit. But it was a couple times. The Dallas Mavericks had the Showtime two straight years. They had that Dallas Mavericks team had the Showtime Lakers on the ropes, but by hook, by crook, and by through hell, water, and fire and brimstone, the Lakers somehow managed to pull it out. Because when you go back and look at all the series, sportsreference.com, Jimmy, 87, either one of them Dallas Mavericks teams, them Mavericks teams had them beat statistically every aspect of the ball, y'all. Every aspect on the ball, offensively, they were run a gun high scoring team, but them teams that had Ronaldo Blackman, Ron Harper,
Sam Perkins coming off the bench,
Sam Perkins and Sam Perkins coming off the bench. Them dudes was good defensively. They were top 10, top 5, top 10 defensively.
And they gave
both sides. They gave the Lakers straight up, pure, unadulterated hell. But I still don't know how the hell the Lakers managed to pull that off.
Now, in the Lakers' defense, Kareem, a lot of people saw in that series, because Ron Tarpley was killing a 41-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not to make excuses for him, because he was still an effective player for the Lakers. But a lot of people was talking about at that time, if you listen to some of the Laker games at that time, and listen to the Dallas versus LA Laker games, people were saying Kareem should have started retiring. People was because he was not the same defensive guy at that particular time. He was not the same guy on defense, because you thought, I mean, Kareem had highlight reel posters, but you didn't come in there too often. With Kareem and Ronnie Tarpley, before he started smoking crack, unfortunately, rest in peace to the brother. But it is what it is.
I didn't know the man passed.
He's no longer.
I didn't know he passed away.
Yeah, he's no longer with us. But before he started smoking crack, unfortunately, that's not a joke. That's actual seriously. And people need to take care of their drug problems. But and the NBA was trying to give him a chance too, but he just, David Stern wanted that kid to make it, and he got booted out of the league, unfortunately, for drug problems. But he was giving Kareem some problems, and that's not an easy dude to score on or stuff on like that. And people was like, man, Kareem, it looked like he's showing his age and stuff like that. You had announcers saying slick shit like that about Kareem, but Kareem wanted to play one more year to get 6 championships for the Lakers, and that didn't quite turn out, but that nearly happened, because if you look at the Detroit series, they only lost by a grand total of 17 points against Detroit. They only lost by in the sweep. It was a sweep, but it was a close sweep. No, I'm sorry, 25 points. So that's close. That's still close. They only lost by a grand total of 25 points. So they could have easily won 6 championships. It could have went the other way around. But back to the Dallas point, dude was killing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. And a lot of people had high expectations for him, but the dude just could not get off the damn narcotic. And he was a part of the destruction of the Dallas team. Had Ron Tarpley stayed off of drugs, and I'm not trying to go into shoulda, woulda, coulda, but we have to use this as an education point. That dude probably would have been a Hall of Famer easily had he had to just stayed off the pipe. Unfortunately, man. But talk y'all shit, man.
Well, I don't use shoulda, coulda, woulda though, you know, because like me and Craig were talking about the other day. Craig was saying it's football based. Craig was saying that what was the guy name that played with the Bengals the night he had got on here and smoked some crack the night before the Super Bowl game? Mm-hmm. And you said that if he would have won, if he had played, they would have beat us. I don't know, man. I don't speak shoulda, coulda, woulda. We still beat them.
Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, but they would have had a chance of beating the 49ers that year. But that 49ers team that beat the Bengals had a whole lot of fucking inner dysfunction because they were damn near out the fucking playoffs. They went 6-5. They went from having the NFL's best record to being out of the fucking playoffs because Bill Walsh couldn't, and God rest in peace to him, to the son of the true father of the West Coast offense, which is the late Paul Brown. They didn't, that 49ers team was kind of bad on all levels because Bill Walsh was juggling quarterbacks between Montana and Steve Young. They were about to be damn near out.
Right. And
meanwhile, the Bengals, and Jimmy, I don't know if you know about this, but I told Murph about it, and Murph got a nice little laugh about it. Sam Weiss unveiled had officially brought the no huddle offense to the NFL. Yeah. And I think in the AFC Championship game, when he beat Marv Levy, he basically beat the brakes off the Bills. Well, Buffalo does have a team called the Bulls, University of Buffalo Bulls. Marv Levy bitched and complained to the NFL Competition Committee about Sam Weiss's no-huddle offense, saying that it's not fair to the rules. So what did Sam Weiss, who was part of that Bill Walsh tree, do? He had to dumb his offense down a little bit, mix it up, mix it in, mix it up. Yeah, it still was the same Bengals offense, but it wasn't, they wouldn't light it up. But the cruel irony of it was Marv Levy started using it with Jim Kelly and them.
The K-gun. That's
the K-gun offense. That's cruel, and that's what cruel irony is. So with that Bengals team with the dude that smoked crack, I still can't think his name, but they probably would have gave
Stanley something. I think is his name.
Yeah,
I forgot his name.
He said the Bengals would have beat them. They probably would have, but again,
that's why I was basically using it as an analogy. I don't go by shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right, but then again,
didn't do it.
But then, and to be honest, hold on, and to be honest, Sam Weiss did outsmart Bill Walsh in that game. But in the end, teacher always gonna prevail over the student. 9 times out of 10.
Well, but you also got to take this in consideration as well. They didn't even score an offensive touchdown in that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. The only touchdown that they scored was a kickoff return. But the defense under what's that guy from Pittsburgh name? He was the defensive coordinator at not Coward. Dick LeBeau. He was the defensive coordinator, and Don Capers was like the linebackers coach. But they created the zone blitz. So that was giving the 40. That's what kept them in the game more than anything was that defense. That defense kept them in the game. They made it hard on Montana. So that's the only thing that made that. That's the reason why Joe Montana had to pull out them heroics. That defense was giving them all types of problem. And if it hadn't been for Jerry Rice,
I'm glad he said that. I'm glad he see.
And if it hadn't have been for Jerry Rice catching 215 yards, for sure they would have lost that game. They for sure lose that game. Montana needed every bit of Jerry Rice in that game. He needed every yard in that game for Jerry Rice. So I don't know about that one. That's why I say I don't know about that one, because that team, that Bengals defense they had a good offense. Don't get it twisted, but that offense didn't do nothing in that game. That secondary for the San Francisco 49ers was holding that team down throughout the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because their pass rush.
This I know.
The pass rush wasn't. I mean, they were okay, but they was not. I wouldn't rely on the pass rush. So that secondary that year was the one that kept them holding down. You know what I'm saying? And that year, the Chicago Bears was supposed to go to the Super Bowl.
Y'all forgot about my boy though. My guy.
Everybody.
Go ahead.
Shit.
You forgot about my guy
Chicago.
now. He was straight. Jack Hacksaw Reynolds stopped the last minute run by Ickey Woods.
Yeah,
they were cocky. They cocky with their running game, and they thought they were gonna run on us in the end zone. But Jack Hacksaw Reynolds, which I wish I could find a jersey today, that was my guy. Stop that shit. Boom.
Oh, you could probably go on throwback jersey at one of these throwback jersey sites. You could probably find that, but that's a whole nother conversation in itself.
Yeah.
But that secondary,
he stopped it. Yeah.
But no, the defense, particularly the secondary of the 49ers, because the pass rush was inconsistent that year. They really what got them there and pretty much won the Super Bowl as well, because you got to think about it. They whooped Chicago in Chicago 28-3, and me and Craig had this conversation 1 or 2 years ago. I was like, we were talking about how Craig was a kid in Chicago, and everybody on his side of town was pissed off that the Chicago Bears lost the eventual Super Bowl championship game.
That neighborhood, my neighborhood was like that. A fucking riot almost happened when that shit happened. Man, but I said it, but I sat here. I remember I said Jimmy a clip of somebody had uploaded the whole video of that entire game.
I have it on the I got the history of the 49ers on DVD. It's got it on there.
Okay. What I tried to figure out was Roger Craig, one of the best all-purpose linebackers. Running backs.
He fumbled the damn ball, man. Almost cost us the game.
Damn, Murph finished my sentence. That motherfucker fumbled twice, 3 times in that damn game.
But the one in the end zone, he fumbled that motherfucker, man. All that hopping and shit.
I'm like, and the Bears still couldn't capitalize on this shit.
All that hopping and shit you doing, man. What are you doing? Just run. What the fuck are you kicking in the air for?
And really, when you think about it, I always said, and I highly recommend it with Jimmy if he had checked it out. The Bill and Bill 30 for 30 I bought, and it's on my YouTube. Well, I don't know if you can see purchase on my YouTube page. The 49ers, man. I don't know if George Seifert had just opted to just pass the ball on that first down, they would have been playing the Bills in that Super Bowl. But Roger Craig, typical Roger Craig, but he didn't do no hop. He ran straight through, and Lawrence Taylor knocked the ball out and knocked the ball loose from him. I'm like, wow. And
Lawrence Taylor was throwing outside, man.
And Joe Montana getting hurt as well. So
yeah, Joe Montana having a broken wrist.
Yeah.
Because what's his name? Old boy said Al Grove, who he was the defensive backs coach then. Because he said they had to respect the 49ers because the 49ers he said clearly, he said he didn't care what the stat book said. The 49ers really had what they had the best, the number one defense in the league that year. They was matching them. The Giants was matching them pound for pound. 49ers ran base dime and nickel on them. Giants ran base nickel on. You know, when you look at it, I got to give Seifert props too, because him being the defensive coordinator, he did a damn good. He did a damn good job of catching. He outslicked Bill Belichick and Parcells, but Roger Craig not recovering that fumble real quick, and then I looked at him. I said, "Oh, this motherfucker had memory last night. Oh, I fumbled the ball. The ball got knocked out. Goddamn, let me try and get. Oh, never mind. They won the game. Now you look at the expression like shit. So, and also, but back to the basketball part when you was talking about with Giannis with the Bucks and the Suns. Jimmy, I don't know if you are aware, but a major a trade went down here in the city of Memphis. Are you aware of that?
I am.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of that dumbass trade.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't done. What was dumb about it, Jim?
I would have kept Valanciunas menu because he gives you inside scoring.
I think you were gonna leave though, man.
Let him leave. Let him leave before you trade him. Or let him become
but we don't want to get nothing. We want you don't want to just let him go and don't get nothing. But we still got only person I don't like out of the trade that we got was what's that boy name? Chris, I don't want to pronounce that boy name, man. What's that boy name, man?
Steve Adams.
No, I like Steve Adams.
Bledsoe?
If you talk about unbled my soul, unbled my soul. And if you think that he's going to be a damn good addition to the Grizzlies.
No, what I just say? I said, what I just say, Jim?
He just said that he wasn't messing with him. Basically, he wasn't messing with him.
The Grizzlies probably going to get rid of him too, because I'm going to tell you why. Okay. When he was at Phoenix, contract. Okay. When he was at Phoenix, whose development did he dampen? Because
I already know.
Okay, hold on. Whose development did he dampen because of the way he played? Eric Bledsoe's a ball hawk. Devin Booker. Thank you. Whose development got better? Whose development got better when Christopher Paul III came on board?
Booker.
Who made the finals when Christopher Paul Booker came on board?
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
but that's called.
Wait, hold on. When he was on the Bucks, whose developments was he really trying to hamper?
Oh, he kind of helped. He helped Giannis lose that game. I'll tell you that. Lose two series in a row.
Bingo, and put Chris Middleton in on this. Yep.
Oh, Chris Middleton. Look at him now.
Okay, hold on. Let me point. Hold up. But when Milwaukee pulled the biggest ball grabbing trade of all by getting Drew Holiday, whose developments got way better, despite the fact that Drew Holiday played like pure shit in the damn finals and they won a championship. I rest my case. And do you honestly think, hypothetically, the Grizzlies want somebody like Eric Bledsoe to help a Ja Morant? No, get rid of him. And
Drew Holiday. I have to disagree with you on that, Drew Holiday. Offensively, that's what
I'm talking about. Offensively, he was garbage. But defensively, he was locking down, bro.
Finals, though. He did his thing and got it to the people who need to be shooting it, and that was Middleton and Giannis. You don't want your point guard being a star shooter. You don't want that. You want him to do what he's supposed to do, distribute. Now, if it's an open shot, take it.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. What I liked about Drew Holiday, despite the fact that T. Murph's boy, L. Demps, who's no longer in the NBA, he was
giving my boy. Oh my God, man! You don't cut it out. So Dale Demps looking at home somewhere.
No.
But he did. But look, wait. Now we got something. Hold on. Let me. Craig, you can't take nothing from that guy though. At least he did try to build New Orleans, man.
Yeah, but what he do wrong, though, Jimmy explained that to him. What he do wrong.
What he do worse than Bauer?
Let's see.
The GM before that.
Well, he did want to. He didn't hire a true NBA. He didn't hire a true NBA training staff because he tried to go the cheap route by utilizing the New Orleans Saints staff, training staff.
It's a
That's why.
small
Wait a
market
minute.
team, though.
Okay, that's why guys like. Okay, but New Orleans also had the highest payroll.
They had the smallest market, dude. You
It
can't
don't
pay all
matter.
these folks with this, huh?
But wait a minute. New Orleans was all. They also, when nobody know, the Pelicans had the highest payroll.
They won the
You
Pelicans
know,
when they were Hornets.
yeah, they were the well, when he was last there, when Demps was last there. But this is before the Pelicans. This is before Demps took over when they were the Hornets with that racist motherfucker. I'm glad that George Sheehan. George Sheehan. I'm glad that, and that's why a lot Zoe Morning was pissed off with Larry Johnson to this day. Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, speaking of Zoe Morning, man, we got to try to get that man on the show. But I know his booking fee gonna be outrageous. But let me continue.
Zoe Morning?
But yeah,
for real?
We gonna try to.
How you gonna do? How you manage to dig that out the bag?
I said we gonna try.
I said how you manage to even think like this to get like this?
It's just a thought. I've been having this on my mind for the longest, man. Because if he agrees, that'd be it'll be a markout moment for me because Zoe one of my favorite. Zoe one of the most underrated centers ever. He physical as fuck. He physical as hell.
He's underrated because he turned Miami into a powerhouse. Soon as Pat Riley traded for him, Walt Williams and Tim Hardaway, contenders. Unfortunately,
and they wanted, but let's not forget this dude in the lockout season was supposed to be the MVP, but they gave it to Karl Malone.
And then he started having kidney problems.
And then he started having the kidney problems years later, unknown to us. So
and then he went to the Nets.
No, I think he stayed with the Hornets for a minute, and then he tried, but not the Hornets. He went with the Heat. But to me, I don't think he's underrated. You never heard not a bad thing about him in the news, with the exception of the fact about the kidney issue, and then when him and Larry Johnson got to fighting.
I saw that fight, man. This shit was funny.
That was funny.
They was always into it. But they was always into it though. When Larry Johnson went to the Knicks and Mourning went to the Miami Heat, they were always into it. There was always a scuffle between those guys. You know what I'm saying? Until he got that kidney problem, and then Larry Johnson had more compassion for him. But there was always, if you watch those Knicks versus Miami Heat games. At the peak of that, they were always into it. There was always a scuffle there. So, but Alonzo Mourning, I agree with you. He would have probably been a top 10, no worse than a top 15 center, had he not had those kidney problems. Because by the time them kidney problems had came into play, he was at the prime of his career. And then I think the year that the Miami went to the championship, won the championship, he was like second.
That's when it came full circle. And then that's when it started really big about coming in the full circle right there in there with his kidney problems.
Yeah, and he was like second.
I will always say Zoe had a better offensive game than Fat Shaq. Because Zoe was dominant as fuck too. Now he was physically dominant as hell too. He was Zoe was strong and he had jumping ability, but I would say Shaq in terms of inside 15 feet, you're not fucking with Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Now granted.
Zoe had the balls to do it now, and that's the same with Lonzo Mourning. Inside 15 feet, you weren't gonna fuck with Zoe.
But Zoe had a 18-foot jumper too, though. Zoe had a mid-range game, unlike Fat Shaq. You know what I'm saying? He had a nice little 3-point game, shot 2 on 2.
Yeah.
Zoe said, "You leave me out open. That's you. That's on you, not me." So,
and he gave Shaq problems
threes too.
And when Shaq was had to defend him, he gave Shaq, if he didn't get into foul trouble. he would give Shaq problems on the offensive side of the ball, man. But
He would.
the thing,
And
but
he
the thing,
would, and Shaq wouldn't fuck with him either, like fight him, because he was strong, man. Zoe was strong as hell.
yeah,
Zoe,
Zoe was,
Man,
yeah,
that
Zoe
damn
was
punch
like,
he threw, he swung it on Larry Johnson, that straight jab. I was he was about to hit his shin, bro. Shit.
yeah, Zoe was like,
Zoe lived in the weight room.
yeah, Zoe was like 6'10", 275, 280, and he was lean. You know what I'm saying? So he was a lean guy.
And had Sean Kemp leaping ability.
Oh yeah, but you know what I'm saying. And you know, after the kidney problem, when he came back to Miami, he was second in the league in blocks, and he was coming off the bench during that Miami team. He was like second in the league in blocks, so he was a significant defensive guy during those finals as well, because he made key plays in the paint that made a difference in that finals. You know what I'm saying?
And he's damn good. He very underrated as a pass, because that MVP year he had about like almost 9 assists a game, eight and a half assists a game. Became the first NBA center to lead the league in assist to turnover ratio.
Right.
That was just freaking unheard of. But man, that's why I was just saying. I was just saying out there. It's a thought, but don't know how much the booking fee gonna be. Then we gotta get the questions together, and stuff on that. It'll be a thought, man. It'll probably be a cool ass show. Me, Zoe interacting with us and shit. Because his son, he's probably out now. Alonzo the third, because he played in Georgetown.
Yeah, Trey Morgan.
Yeah, and speaking of Trey, bro, why you ain't tell me and Jimmy and the rest of the horsemen that you got a son playing in Virginia named after you, man?
Man, shut up. What the hell up? Hey,
I saw that shit. I'm like, damn.
I ain't shot into Toshiko yet.
Who?
Toshiko.
Yeah, my coworker. She one of the finest girls up here. Her name Toshiko. She black though, black girl with a silly name, but she fine though.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, the dude that tagged Murphy and they got the same name, Trey Murphy the third.
Shooter though.
He's a damn good shooter and a defender. Man, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Right,
6'5". That ain't my son. He too tall. Like, there's your son. Look at me and look at him. Do you think so?
Look at him.
Our height switched. I'm 5'6" and a half. He's 6'5".
Right.
So we switched. Kind of switched up.
Right.
Yep. Man.
Right.
Damn. What else were we talking about?
Okay, let's get on the. And for the record, guys, I'm actually boycotting the Olympics. I'm really not fucking with them. I am keeping up with the news feeds, but because of the fuckery that's going on in Japan, with them talking about you can't protest, you can't put Black Lives Matter shirts on, you can't have no time to protest. That's what the Olympics is all about. So I kind of backed off the Olympics. However, I have kept up with things in the news when it comes to the Olympics, which brings us to our next topic. The U.S. Olympic team got their ass whooped not once, but twice during the exhibition thing, and they blew a marginal lead versus France against a bunch of bench players outside of
goddamn France out of everybody.
Outside of Batum,
France.
Outside of Batum and Gobert, who are starters pretty much.
And
that's pretty much. Yeah, those are pretty much bench riders. They lost to a whole bunch of bench riders. Now,
that's what we have over there though too. A lot of bench warmers too. A lot of second string.
Mm-hmm.
Only somebody I know that's starting is Kevin Garnett, and not Kevin Garnett. Lord have mercy, Kevin Durant. And Draymond Green is not a. Come on now, there ain't no star franchise player. You're a star.
Now let now let me be in the defense of the U.S. Olympic team because it's a twofold conversation. On
Okay.
one end, they should have gotten some better talent, especially inside scores, because they got a bunch of perimeter shooters. Nothing wrong with that if they can hit the shot. The problem is when you need a bucket, you're gonna need somebody like a Julius Randle. They could have got Julius Randle over Draymond Gay Green, as I call this motherfucker. Draymond
No.
Gang Green. You know what I'm saying? And they could have gotten some inside scores, and the problem is you don't have an inside presence. They should have at least gotten 3 or 4 inside guys. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm not going to put it on Kevin Durant because you can't put everything on Kevin Durant. Contrary to what some people say, they're getting on Kevin Durant's bumper. I understand why they're doing it, but I don't agree with it because this is a total team issue. This is a total team issue. When you represent internationally for a team, whether you're playing for France, whether you're playing for Zululand, whether you're playing for Tokyo or whatever, when you represent the Olympic team, you go down there and do your best. And a lot of those guys is not showing heart. Damian BG Lillard, he's been doing okay, but on defense, you trash. Damian BG, that's what I call him, the baby gangster, the BG. That's who Damian Lillard look like, the BG. You know what I'm saying? So they should have been a better selection of players, not to make excuses for why they playing slow. There's no excuse for them to be playing be playing slow, because if those guys go up to their best potential right now, if those guys play up to their best potential right now, they would beat everybody hands down, and we would not be having these conversations. But nobody wants to play team basketball. They're putting it on Greg Popovich. Now, this is a twofold conversation in itself too. If Greg Popovich is trying to run the San Antonio offense down these people throat, the motion offense that he installing, if he's trying to roll it, run it down their throat, that's a problem. You're part of the problem. You're not the big problem, but that's part of the problem. So if they are doing that, if he is doing that, he needs to stop. Just run the simple IBA Coach K motion offense, which basically that's the reason why he ran the motion in the beginning with, because he studied Coach K and put his stank on it, basically, because San Antonio went from a high post offense to versions of the Duke offense, but he kind of put his stank on it. And Budenholzer uses certain elements in that 5 out, more so Bobby Knight type stuff, but he put his stank on it anyway. But that's a whole other conversation in itself. But going back to the Olympic team,
can you name the roster? I know we got. Can you name the whole roster, entire roster?
Oh, okay. And this is without me even looking. You got Devin Booker and Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday that just came back from the NBA Finals. Yeah. You got Damian Lillard, Jerome, Horace Grant's son. You got JaVale McGee. You got Bam Adebayo, Kevin Durant.
Representing the Nigerian team.
Oh, but he's a citizen, so he can pretty much represent whoever he pleases. Because if an NBA player could become a citizen,
like Elijah Warren did, like Elijah Warren.
Yeah, he does have that. Now, the flip side of that is once he play for one team, he got to stick with that team according to FIBA rules, which is some bullshit. That's some really bullshit. Because that Nigerian girl wanted to play for Nigeria, and they would not let that girl play for Nigeria. She just wanted to play for them one time. She already gave y'all 2 Olympic gold medals. Let the girl play for her team. Come on now,
Mm-hmm.
because if she
That's
wanted to
crazy.
play for she could. I mean, for the U.S. women is pretty much going to win the Olympics. Let's not get it twisted. With Big Griner, who still live in Houston, represent the north side of Houston, the women is pretty much going to win, barring any kind of crazy shit that goes down with Big Griner and the rest of that team. They're going to pretty much win hands down. But she just wanted to play just to show her Nigeria heritage. And FIBA did some bullshit. But let's say I run track and field per se, the IAFF, which is the International Athletic Association Federation. If let's say I wanted to run track for Great Britain, and all of a sudden I come back and try to run for Ethiopia somewhere, I can do that because there's no regulation. You can do that damn near in any sport outside of FIBA basketball. But for them to do that to them girls is a travesty. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to represent their country where they from. They are U.S. citizens, but they just wanted to represent their Nigeria heritage one time. You know, and you know what I'm saying? And they stopped her for doing that, and that's some bullshit. But
Right.
nevertheless, the team is washed up. The team is washed up, but again, there's no excuse for them to be playing that goddamn slow against bench warmers in the NBA. Now, we also have to blame Jerry Colangelo. This is his last year as the guy who's running the U.S. basketball. So I think somebody else is going to take over. But that was a poor selection. Why don't you get Julius Randle? Why don't you get what's that boy name? Zion. If he ain't hurt, why don't they get him? I mean, it's plenty of people they could have went to. I think they could have got Joel Embiid, but because he doesn't represent anybody internationally, he's from Cameroon, but he's been living in the States for a while, so they could have got Joel Embiid. It could have been the U.S. have not sent their best. The United States have not sent their best players since 2012.
Yeah, I know it.
Since the last LeBron team that they have not sent their best.
Because they declined to play though, you know.
Yeah.
They declined to want to be on the team. They just declined. They don't want to play no more.
But they can still go and have a good process. They could still have better selection. There's no kind of selection. There's no kind of inside play whatsoever with that team. JaVale McGee is like shacking a fool victim. Why you gonna put a shacking a fool victim on this motherfucker, man? Come on, man.
Yeah. He tired, man. He ain't like the JaVale McGee that used to be in Denver and stuff.
He trash right now, man. Y'all put this man on the team, man. Y'all could have had a better. They could have had better selection, man. They could have went with the dude from Atlanta. Talk your shit, man. Go ahead.
Trae Young. Okay, let's finish the roster though. Who else on the roster?
Durant, Adebayo, McGee, Jeremy Grant, and this is just guessing off the top of my head. Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, Devin Booker. Draymond Green. This, I think I named the whole roster without even looking this. But let me do it.
Who we gonna be with that? We even beat everybody with that.
Hell no.
We're not gonna beat nobody with that, man. You got two dudes that hold on, Craig, hold on. You got two dudes that just got through playing in the finals. Shit, they tired. Who they gonna be with them? You got three tired players.
Keldon Johnson is on the team.
I know I'd be tired.
Keldon Johnson is on the team, and Jason Tatum. Exactly. You could have put mid-range whatchamacallit on that hole. You could have put what's that dude name that's supposed to be going to the Lakers? That there's rumored supposed to be going to the Lakers. So yeah, the selection process was trash, man. They could have got what's the boy from they used to play for Toronto that's with whatchamacallit? What's that fool name? Man?
Kawhi.
Not Kawhi. They could have got
Lowry.
not Kyle Lowry.
Pascal Siakam.
He got traded from Toronto to San Antonio.
DeMar DeFrozen, as you call him.
Man, be quiet.
Would have did.
Be quiet, man.
They would have did. I missed a few guys. I missed one person, and that's Zach LaVine. That's another one they got on the team.
Oh yeah,
they could have got him. He well rested. Yeah, well, when you play for the Bulls, you're gonna be well rested at the end of the season.
Rested anyway. Yeah, we gonna be well rested a while, shit, because we love to fuck up rosters.
Yeah, they could have got but Jimmy, you're right. They could have got DeMar DeFrozen, but hey, Murph, don't blame me. Jimmy gave him that name because he don't shoot no 3-pointers.
Man, y'all crazy. He don't
shoot no threes. He'll be wide open for a three. He'll pass the ball. Damn.
No, that sound like that sound like what's his your partner in Philly.
Ben what's his face Simmons.
Yeah, man.
Hey, let me give everybody an update on what Ben Simmons been doing when he said he gonna work on his game. That motherfucker was at a damn tennis event in London with his his girlfriend. He been working out all right.
Man,
I get rid of his ass real quick.
Off that dude, man. That shit was funny. They been making so many comedy videos. That shit funny as hell. The same dude that did the LeBron video, Supreme Dreams, he did a video when the basketball player passed too much. Motherfuckers gonna give you a dunk pass. They're like, damn man, you should have dunked. What the fuck are you passing it to me? You got to see the video, man.
But speaking of videos, my boy B.A. He got everybody down pat, especially with LeBron. Oh man. Like he'll drill the ball one time, he'll walk in and take on running with the ball. Open. He's like, I'm open. He's like, damn.
Yeah. But nonetheless, regardless of
they could have put. Wait a minute, hold on, hold on. Or they could have put what's his name? Yo guy Jimmy, Russell Westhaven on the team.
I think they would do a hell of a lot better with Russell Westhaven.
Damn right.
They would.
That nigga don't have a 3-point shot to save his life, but I guarantee you they would do a hell of a lot better with him having Olympic experience the way he did. I mean,
granted, you can't hold him.
Exactly. So they would have done a lot better with Russell Westhaven. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that 1,000%. But the team that they got right now, it's a fucking mismatch right now. Kevin Durant should be.
That team they got right now ain't nothing but an 80 overall my team from NBA 2K.
I agree. I totally agree with that. But you definitely need
if you remove Kevin Durant from them, that's what you got.
Right. And they wore the boy out so much. And he has to basically play center, which center is not his natural position. But because they fucked up the roster so good, he got in foul trouble. He couldn't stay on the floor because he had like 4 or 5 fouls. So
he had time to comb his hair, nothing, man.
Exactly. So they running that boy ragged. I know he's 6'11", and some estimation saying he's 7 feet tall without shoes, but you know what I'm saying. But still, he's not a natural center. He's a 6'11", 6'11" small forward. That's what he is. He dribbles the ball like a guard. So you taking the guy out of his natural position. I understand international ball concept and all that, but you don't have LeBron with you. You don't have Carmelo Anthony with you that could take a lot of pressure off him. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron in an international game, he can play all 5 positions as a defender. So the thing is, you're putting a lot of pressure on Kevin Durant more than you need with Kevin Durant. Now, granted, if our boy Kawhi was healthy, our boy postseason garbage, I can't call him postseason garbage right now. Paul George, you know what I'm saying? I can't call him. I think Paul George would have. We can't call.
Well, I think Paul George would have went ACL too, and I'm like Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna call him George Paul. He's gonna be called Paul George.
I'm gonna call him Paul George because he in a losing effort, he was the reason why that Phoenix didn't sweep them. Had Paul George not been on the team, Phoenix would have swept them, and that would have been easy work for them. But Paul George would have made a difference on the team too. It's a whole bunch of guys that they could have gotten outside of these clowns per se.
Man, they should have kept that team in San Diego, man. Why the fuck do LA need two teams?
Well, because
Donald Sterling, dumbass.
Donald Sterling had strong armed his way into LA, and they find the hell out of him. They find the hell out of him. Actually, he actually strong armed his way out of. I don't know about that one. That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen.
They already building a stadium, so they get their own stadium.
But I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, Donald Sterling strong armed the Clippers out of San Diego, and people of San Diego sued the hell out of him. He lost in court, by the way. But speaking of the Olympics, my hometown girl, basically, I have to say, well, my home city girl, Simone Biles, she had a mental breakdown, unfortunately, and all these racist ass motherfuckers is criticizing her. The black community, we pretty much embracing her. You know, we're kind of like, okay, we understand she got mental issues. Now, for my opinion, I think somebody made a death threat and that kind of triggered she has a history of mental issues. And I want to send a shout out to Coach Sheldon Harris because I didn't know this. Well, I forgot it for the most part, but she does have a extensive history of mental issues. And Coach Sheldon Harrison went off on the boys about, talking real bad about them, about Simone Biles. So shout out to the brother, man, and y'all subscribe to his channel, man. He got some good content over there. But he brought this up, and I seem to forgot that she did get mental issues from Pedo Nasser. He ain't gonna get his real name. Dr. Pedo Nasser.
Let me correct you on that. Well, he's doing what 100-some years in prison, right?
Yeah.
His name is not Pedo Nasser. It's Pedo Nasser. Because they probably didn't had his way with him in prison right about now.
Yeah.
It's Miss Nasser.
Miss Nasser. There you go.
They don't let nothing happen to them. Had profile.
Shit.
I don't know about that one. That bro, he out of there. He out of there. And then he has a history of touching boys too. So that's another thing. That's another thing that they didn't tell you about too. Yeah, because they say some college wrestlers and some that came out and said that he started grabbing on some boys. So yeah, that man, he out of there.
What is wrong with these dudes? All these women out here, man. I don't get it, man.
Hey, shit, it starts from the home, Murph.
Sometimes
it starts from the home, and then and Jimmy said the best. I didn't mean to cut you off. Jimmy said something a couple times on one of my live streams that has a problem with what the hell be wrong with some of these women and us men. It starts from the home. It can be everything, be all okay, but you got to have that one. It's always that one particular family member that fucking up for everybody, and it's kept a dark damn secret.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times when guys do commit sexual assault or commit rape or anything of that nature, it's more so a power thing. If people feel like they can get away with certain things,
that's like in jail though. In jail, that's what it is. But
it's a power thing, and he's been doing this for years. This ain't nothing new. It's just those girls finally came out and busted wide open in terms of the making it known to the public. You know what I'm saying? Because he did something to Gabby and the entire gymnastic team. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah. Hey, I was in Alabama. Hey, I was living in Huntsville, Alabama, watching this trial on cable, bro. Man, all them girls came out. Even Gabby herself came out.
Oh my
She
God,
was on the
man.
stand.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
bro.
because
Hey man, you know
Man,
what? Before I do some shit like that, I'd rather go buy some pussy, man.
I agree.
Before I do that.
Totally,
man,
Huh?
totally agree.
I agree with you
Totally
there
agree.
on that, Murph. I mean,
Totally
because
agree.
I'm gonna go buy some pussy.
that's
If it's getting that frustrating to me and I'm getting hot and horny, fuck it. I'm just finna go get somebody.
But in the mind of a pedophile slash rapist,
yeah.
it's a power thing. If
It's
guys
crazy, man.
if a person feel like they can get away with some shit, if they feel like they can go out here and rape men, women, children, whatever, they're gonna continue to do it until somebody stops them. But this dude been doing this for decades. It's nothing new. But when that trial that happened, it's some wrestlers that came out talking about this nigga molested them. You
Oh
know,
my God.
just imagine you having an injury. You can't defend yourself, and a dude just violates you, man. I mean, that's some fuck shit. But getting back on our girl Simone
Yeah,
Biles,
yeah,
she does have a history of mental issues, and she's hands down the greatest gymnastics person in history. If you include world championships and especially her all-around performance last year, she probably had the best all-around performance in history. That's topping people like Nadia Comaneci and Latasha Lumpkin and a host of other Russian women back in the 50s.
right.
She's topping people like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you include every award from world championships to Olympics, she's definitely the GOAT. But had her mental faculties together, she would have
Yeah,
slammed the door shut on any. In terms of Olympics, she would have slammed the door shut on any argument about her being the GOAT. Now, I still consider her the GOAT, but because, let's think about it. Mental issues and having mental functionality is more important than playing sports. Having your mental
yeah,
faculties is more important than playing sports. And she was gonna hands down beat them. Who the hell who was gonna beat her? The Russians won
nobody.
because of a technicality more than anything. She just
yeah.
couldn't. You know, I don't know what's happening. I think it's some death threats to go along with what has happened to her in the past. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
how
But
it is in sports, man.
you
All
know,
this read shit. Yeah.
yeah,
You know
but
how
that
it is.
girl was gonna win that. Had she had her mental capabilities, she was gonna win that, and even her teammates was consoling her because they knew the type of gymnast that she is. Can't no gymnast fuck with her. I will even say this, and I mentioned this among the sports chat group. If she had been going against people like Nadia Comaneci and people like Mary Lou Retton, she would have kicked all their asses because that girl, man, that girl don't even make a step when she land. That's how perfect her gymnast game on there. You got
Yeah.
motherfuckers that's paying this woman top dollar. This woman getting paid because she has a gymnastics gym out in Spring, Texas, which is basically North Houston, but north. But yeah, she gets paid top dollar. I know some Mexican guys has paid like I think he pays like 1,000 a month for gymnastics, some shit like that. Some dude
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, she getting paid top dollar because she's a gymnastics coach. Outside of her doing gymnastics, she's a gymnastics coach. But that girl do not make no fucking step when it comes to gymnastics because they be deducting points with steps and all that shit. So, I hope she get her mental faculties together. If she sits out in the Olympics, I have no problem with that because you need your mental faculties. What is y'all take on this shit?
Yeah, well, I already spoke mine in the conversation, but that's the thing, though. See, that's why mind control is so evident now. Everybody want to take over a person's mind because you take the mind, the rest follow. You know.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, I just like I said, I already spoke my 2 cents on it. I just see these pedophiles. I think it's sick, man. if
Right,
you gonna touch a child or a person that's disabled or something, that's why I wouldn't fuck with a disabled person. I feel like
right.
I'm taking advantage, man. But if you're gonna do that, man, just go buy your prostitute or something. They ain't
Exactly.
always junkie prostitute. Go buy you some pussy, man, and be
Some
through with it.
shit,
Keep
man.
receipt.
Yeah.
Shit, I paid her. Here go my receipt.
Yep. And plus, and I was listening. I was multitasking because I was listening to some following his YouTube, listen to a YouTube story, and then listen to you guys. Man, if fellas, you gotta go down that route, man, to just to follow with somebody where they got the same thing as you do or something different. You
Oh
got
no,
that urge.
hell no.
You that damn frustrated.
Mm-mm.
There's this thing called an escort service. So I'm pretty sure that doctor that was making enough money, and it's not just a doctor, it's anybody. It's all you so-called ballers, you street niggas, and all the other shit. Yeah, I mean, you're paying for the pussy anyway. Excuse me to all my church down there in Hillsboro, Alabama. What my Facebook friends is, they listen to
They
it
be
too.
okay. They buy pussy too, so they be okay.
They'll be
Preachers
all
buy
right.
pussy too.
Stop it. No,
They
my
gonna be
pastor.
all right.
Hey, no, wait a
They
minute.
gonna be
Hey,
all right.
the pastor that church in Alabama, he a straight arrow, man. Not that one I
No,
told you about, Murph.
I don't
Talking about the
know.
No.
one.
You don't know what
Man, we.
when them doors shut. Goddamn it, you still get horny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's what they got escort services for. I mean, you gotta get, yeah, you got enough money. You make what six figures. Shit. You got to release that tension sometime. Get your escort service or something.
Yeah,
Stop trying to
yeah.
follow some of these girls that got the well-toned bodies like the Simone Biles or the what's the Jimmy just said it.
Gabby Douglas. I mean that the entire
Gab, Gab,
gymnastics.
Gabrielle
Yeah,
Douglas
boom.
and the entire gymnastics team.
Yeah.
Jesus. Come on, y'all. Come on,
Like
guys. Hey, we got to do right now. Because like I said,
said,
we in our family, now I ain't speaking for the three of our family members. It's somebody in everyone's family that's a damn pedophile
we
or,
we
or whatnot.
I ain't found them, but I have found one of my cousins.
I haven't
He
found them either. So, and not on my mom's side or my pop's side, but
nah, but I
uh,
have found one homeless one gay one. I found that.
yep.
Well, but yeah, but
Jimmy
you
said,
know,
Yeah,
yeah, they,
Jimmy
uh,
had calls on that shit. Like,
Jimmy
let me think about that. Let me think about that for a
but
second.
yeah, but
You
people
know?
like that need to be dealt with. But I just want the
Very
girl to
much
get her
so.
mental. I want the girl to get her mental back right before she does anything.
Yeah,
Even going back to her gymnastics stadium. You know what I'm saying? Because she does. There's a lot of kids out here in Houston that does look up to Simone. So main thing, man, is just get her mental right, man. And if she missed the Olympics, the rest of the Olympics, whether she doing the balance beam or the parallel bars or the floor exercise, I mean, hey, you had your good run, man. I mean, you had your run. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I see it too, man. Cause shit. So whatever going on with Gabby, I hope everything all right.
yeah.
She can come in on this and shit. So
Yeah, man.
it is what it is. We got an announcement. Gentlemen, as you all know, we are months away from fans returning back in the stadium to our respectable college football teams and everything else. So I'm gonna make an announcement on the Let's Draw on Something. Me, along with Jimmy J. Smooth, and how his schedule permits, Mr. Guarantee Murphy himself, we will preview the 2021 college football season. But Murph, I'm gonna tell you how we did the last time. I had the Sporting News magazine, and what Jimmy and I did from the top 25, we picked random numbers from 1 to 25.
Okay.
The last time that did happen, when Jimmy and I previewed the 2019 season, he was cursing himself to hell when he made the luck of the draw and picked the team that would eventually win the national title. And no, it wasn't Alabama. It was Jimmy's favorite coach that he loves to hate, Ed Ogeron. And if I wish I could find that clip. Our boy the Horseman was calling me all kinds of names. Ho ho, I wasn't shit for that, for making him preview about LSU. But you wanna know what was funny about that, Murph? Jimmy was right. Jimmy was right.
We can't be right about everything, man. If you're wrong about something.
I know, but wait a minute. But in Jimmy's own way, he was right. And he said LSU got a chance to win the national title, depending on how they play in offense.
Of course. I mean,
and they won it.
Was this the team that Randy Moss' son was on?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Hell yeah. I said I thought they were gonna win it all too.
I knew they were gonna win it they put up 40-something points in Oklahoma in the first half. I'm like, shit. I'm like, it's over. It's over.
I knew they were gonna win it all. I mean, goddamn, they loaded.
Right.
They loaded. Now my most hated team right now though is Clemson. It ain't Bama, Craig. But it's Clemson.
What?
No, it ain't Bama.
Wait a minute. Let me go out. Hold on. Let me look outside right quick. Hold on just a minute.
They're in the ACC, man. They're in the ACC with me. They the roadblock. Hopefully this year. Well, now they loaded again, bastards. But
not exactly, Murph. They got issues. They got issues.
Well, I'm excited about my team though. We been getting some good recruits and stuff.
Okay, but Clemson, they got their issues. They got to break in a new quarterback. They got to break in a new receiving core. Our favorite defensive coordinator on that team, Brent Venables, he got to break in a new defensive unit. They got to break in a new offensive line. So they basically started from scratch.
But in college though, shit, that can turn into something, in college.
And we always say never count Clemson out, because the last time they broke a whole new team in from scratch, they beat the shit out of Alabama.
And I'm glad Notre Dame gone. Sick of them motherfuckers, man.
Well, but you got to think about it.
At our conference.
But you got to think about it. They had a lights out defense when they beat the shit out of Alabama. I mean,
true.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence won the championship for them, but that defense made key goal line red zone stops so they can get to that shit. So that played a factor right there, man. With them goal line stops, man, that made a difference in winning that championship right there. Had they not had those goal line stops, that would have just been a shootout. But Brett Venables did enough at the goal line to where they couldn't make the thing get out of hand with it. So you know what I'm saying, that is what it is when it comes to that, man. So
but Murph did enlighten us, Now, one thing I did learn from Mike Norvell in his first year with Florida State, despite the COVID protocols, he was not the Memphis Mike Norvell. I could not believe it.
Well,
he was not the Memphis Mike Norvell. That was too conservative.
Well, at Florida State, the fans is not going to let you get conservative. Otherwise, you're going to be up out of there. So, yeah, I agree. I can see that.
And I was shocked.
I can see it.
And even though Murph, he didn't follow the Memphis football games when Norvell was here, I wasn't a Memphis. Okay, I didn't know. I apologize. Myself, shout out to Corey Wolf and Jimmy. There were some games we watched. We was just play by play. We was watching Memphis and Central Florida.
And you know, Memphis
Man,
they had them two cornerbacks too, man. It was bad as a
we
motherfucker.
wanted, but the offense, man, I just wanted to grab my TV, grab my. While I was watching my mom's TV, I just wanted to grab my mom's TV and just break it in half with all my strength because Norvell was study calling the same damn stuff, man. I'm like, bro, what is
Yeah.
you doing?
Well, you know, when you know defenses always mess up a good offense. If a defense clicking,
Well, but
you
here's
make
the
you make
thing: the Central Florida defense wasn't that good,
not it wasn't.
and Randy Shannon should have known. He should have known better. You don't. You got 4-3 personnel playing out of position. You trying to call yourself trying to run a 3-4? Come on.
Right. He closed the gate.
So you think about it, Norvell made Randy Shannon's defense look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I still think Randy Shannon, he didn't get his fair shake in Miami, but he could have did a better job. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have that college football preview going. We draw random numbers. But that time when I told Jimmy who he was previewing, I'll be damned they won the national title.
Yeah, college football tickets are out of this world, astronomically high though too, man.
Right.
Not only do you
Now
buy the
with
ticket,
this
but you also
NIL in.
you got to donate to the university too. I'm like, God damn.
Shit, now with
I never be at a
the
Florida
NIL
State
in
game.
place. Now with this NIL law in place, hey, them college players finna get the house. They finna get paid.
I know, and unfortunately I ain't gonna never be able to attend one of my home team games. Shit, that's a wrap right now. Right now,
Yep.
it's a bucket list though. Bucket list.
Yep.
And to be in Doak Campbell Stadium, Bobby Bowden Field.
Well, if you go with the Memphis Tigers, you probably be able to see it. Shit.
Yeah.
No, he don't want to go there.
Nope.
Because the first Memphis
But
and Florida State, I think the first game will be in Memphis. So
yeah.
Damn, so it will.
The first game will be in Memphis, and the second game gonna be in Tallahassee, and the third game gonna be at a neutral site.
I want to go to Tallahassee.
But they said Memphis gonna be making about probably more right now. They say it's looking when they play them on television, that's gonna be 3 million, but it might be more.
Wow, man. Yeah, but college costs more than NFL. I mean, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to.
And they talking about renovating Liberty Bowl Stadium. Well, and I'm glad Jimmy posted that up because, you know, when I lived in Chicago, there was a lot of folks talking about they need to hurry up. They wanted to tear down Soldier Field. But then they didn't want to tear it down. Then they said, well, look, y'all need to go ahead and renovate it and generate enough money for all the time they didn't want to renovate it. So what happened back in 2006, they renovated the entire stadium from the inside and out.
So let me ask you something, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't you a Bears fan?
I did like the Bears as a kid, but when I was little, just something to me just started liking the Packers, man. Like when Brett Favre when Brett Favre and Reggie White came over, I started liking the Packers. I like the Bears now? Kind of, sort of. You know, because the Bears back then were the Bears back then. These are real men playing.
You thought they was back then, huh?
Yeah, but when Walter Payton left, Steve, saying prayers to Mongo, he battling Lou Gehrig's disease. You know,
yeah, it's fucking him. He's fucked him up real kind of bad. He fucked up real kind of bad.
Lou Gehrig, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and when all them start leaving, retired start leaving, and then Dicker, his refusal to not get with the times and shit.
What you call that man? Dicker.
That's his name, Dicker. Mike Dicker.
I thought you said Dickler. Okay, Dicker.
No, hell no. I ain't gonna disrespect Dicker like that now. No.
Oh, okay.
And they did, true enough, they did have the best coaching staff. I mean, shit, Buddy fucking Ryan, come on.
But
They
he
had
ended up leaving to Philadelphia though. But he ended up in Philadelphia after the Super Bowl.
yep.
And that was it. It fucked all of it up. Fucked all of
Because when
Chicago
Buddy
up.
Ryan got there for 3 years, they had no one defense every year.
Mm-hmm.
And then shit, 85 to 85 Bears, they had a whole bunch of stories. They said you had Dick on one side. Said Dick and Buddy Ryan they didn't like each other. He said eventually years later they did patch it up. But cause said like in the defensive meeting, they said Buddy Ryan, he said he didn't have to explain nothing unless it was really important for him to explain some shit to the defense in the film room. That was the only time that he spoke to the
Yeah.
players in the film room. He said because he knew them dudes was tired, man. Because he cared. He said the thing was about what Dick. He said Dick kind of cared about his players. Said Buddy Ryan, he cared about everybody, whether he's offense, defense. And he said especially
Right.
like on defense, because if you was tired from that game, all they hitting and running and all the other stuff, and he had to turn around to come in for a meeting on Monday. He said one time what was that? Dan Am told the story. He said that Buddy Ryan undermined Mike Dicker. Because said Mike Dick wanted everybody for a team meeting on Monday.
Right.
Buddy Ryan said told the defense, y'all come Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
He undermined Mike Dick. Y'all come Tuesday. I'm more worried
Uh-uh.
about. He said, come Tuesday. So he kept doing it till Dick got the message. It's like, okay, well maybe I need to have these meetings on Tuesday, and then whatever, these players need to rest. So,
Right.
and then Hampton said they be in the film room, sleep, tired, and all the other stuff there, because they already knew what to do.
Right.
They already know what they already know what they had to do. Man, if it was like it was an important game, yeah, it was gonna be some film. It was gonna be some film study that day.
Right.
So,
Right.
man, as I said, all the good ones going because I don't know what's going on with Dicker health wise. I don't know if he lost weight or something up with him. We know Buddy passed away. Shit, like I said, Mongo McMichael, he battling ALS.
Right.
What the good ones like Walter Payton and
Right.
Refrigerator Perry passed away. Jim McMahon, he got to wear sunglasses for the rest of his life.
Right.
But even though he can't see, I don't know if he just does for interviews or what. Because they said he have a concussion, but he still have concussion problems. So damn near most everybody from the '85 Bears still around.
Right.
So
Right.
so
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's why. I mean, I like the Bears when they had some guys that was able to play, and then when time started passing by, Walter left, Mike Singletary left, Frizz retired, Richard Dent, Willie Galt, Dave Durison, Leslie Frazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Leslie Frazier, who ended up becoming the head coach a couple of times, and is the current defensive coordinator of the Bills.
yeah,
Uh.
and like I said, Mongo, Dan Hampton, Jim McMahon, all them guys, Kevin Butler, Jeff Finsick, all them guys, man. That's when football's football. That's when men were men.
Right. Not this regulated ass football they got now. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
understand they want to have concussion protocol and stuff like that, but man, get some better helmets to protect these people.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
come
then I'm
on.
gonna tell you another thing. What I liked about what they did with invade that old Soldier Field. You know that AstroTurf ain't nothing but concrete, right?
Yeah, I already know.
Shit, and they replaced that whole field with grass,
Right.
natural turf. They should have been doing that shit all along, man.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. Totally agree with
Yeah, the
that.
AstroTurf, yeah, it looked good. It looked good to the human eye, but them dudes landing on that shit, damn, shit.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir, man. So
But here's another thing for you go.
Mm-hmm.
and Murph dropped out. Yo boy,
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, man, was smoking that West Indian weed.
Uh-huh.
He told Jalen Rose today that he thinks the Lakers should trade Anthony Davis to the Wizards for Bradley Beal.
Fuck no.
Thank you. I don't like the
That's
Lakers, but hell no. Why trade? Why trade the help when you can trade for some more help? You know.
Right. Now, of course, if he don't get his health together, we need to
Mm-hmm.
look into that. But until now, we keep AD, we keep all the Memphis pieces because I think that played a factor in them not making it either. Was them letting Rondo check out free agency and letting people like Dwight Howard who played some key minutes. Not the same Dwight Howard that we saw at Orlando, but um, some of those guys were significant. They let I think Danny Green ain't there. Am I correct in that assessment? I don't think Danny Green because I didn't really watch the playoffs until the conference finals. But
I don't think I
uh,
don't think Danny Green went, but
yeah, but
Danny Green don't know how to sit. Danny Green don't know how to sit his ass down. Shit.
yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, you've had some key uh free agents on that team that ended up not staying with the Lakers. So that could have played some part because Rondo did come through in key moments during the playoffs. Might not be AD or LeBron significant, but it was significant enough to where had they not had him, that would have changed the course of their season.
Okay,
So
hold that
if the
thought.
Lakers
But we got
go ahead.
got breaking news. Got breaking news from there. But continue.
But yeah, Rondo could have stayed, but he didn't want to stay, but the Lakers should have did a better job of keeping him there. But what's the breaking news, brother?
This was reported 3 hours ago, courtesy of Pete the Mill on Twitter. Said breaking news: the Big 12 has sent a cease and desist letter to ESPN. The letter demands ESPN end all actions that may harm the conference and its members, and that it not communicate with the Big 12 conference's existing members or any NCAA regarding any NCAA conference regarding the Big 12 conference's members, possible conference realignment, or potential financial incentive or outcomes related to possible conference realignment.
That's interesting. I mean,
Well, let me. Well.
that's interesting.
Let's thank the Big 12. They basically did something for us that we've been wanting for somebody to tell ESPN to do. Shut the fuck up and stay out of folks' business.
Yeah,
Shit.
and
More props to the Big 12, man. Fuck that. You saying interesting. Hey, more props to the Big 12 on that.
speaking of the Big 12, brother, I think
Hell no.
Texas and Oklahoma. I think
No.
Texas and Oklahoma should stay. In my
They need to
opinion, I
stay
don't think
because they need 11 votes from the SEC to get in. I don't think they're gonna get them votes.
Yeah, because that would affect the recruiting in the SEC. Them have Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC would defeat the purpose of Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. Well, Texas A&M gonna always have Houston talent. They don't have to go anywhere in Texas to get because they're gonna always be connected to the Houston area. But nonetheless, Alabama, when they're not recruiting in the state of Alabama or Florida or Georgia, they go to Texas. Same with Auburn. Same with Ole Miss to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Mississippi State, aka Mississippi State. Damn near every team in the SEC. You might have a handful of teams that don't recruit in the state of Texas, but that is going to affect recruiting. Because how can you convince a person to come to the SEC when all they got to do is stay in their home state of Texas? You know what I'm saying? Like the last quarterback for A&M, he's from San Antonio, which is an hour and a half, 2 hours away. He's originally from San Antonio. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my
Kellen
head, but
Mond.
Kellen Mond, he's from San Antonio. He's not from anywhere, but usually A&M have a lock on Houston talent when and leave the University of Houston with leftovers in terms of football. Now basketball, that's going to slowly change because as long as the Sampson family is there, because I think his son might take over once he gets old and not want to coach basketball anymore. But that's going to shift. The basketball landscape is going to shift because they went to the Final Four. So, because how Oklahoma, Texas, how any other school is going to convince a Houston kid to come to their school when they can just stay in the city of Houston and play basketball? So that's gonna, and that's one of the reasons why you got rumors that the Pac-10, the Pac-12 may get the University of Houston, which would be a good move from a football and basketball landscape. So, but nonetheless, Texas, in the words of Corey Wolf, shout out to the brother, they don't benefit. They don't the Texas and Oklahoma realignment does not benefit the SEC whatsoever. Because number one, Norman, Oklahoma, even though Norman, Oklahoma is not far from the Oklahoma City market, Oklahoma City is small compared to, in terms of size, population, is small. You know what I'm saying? Austin is the smallest of all the major cities in of the four major cities in I don't even consider El Paso a major city, but they're a growing major city nonetheless. But out of the four cities over 1 million people, they're the smallest. We don't need this. We don't need Austin, Texas. The SEC does not need Austin, Texas. Now the SEC getting A&M because A&M is literally you can drive an hour and a half from where I stay to College Station. You can that makes a significant difference because there's a lot of A&M fans in the city of Houston. So that's going to make a major difference. You got a lot of Aggie fans out here. When you take away the Houston fans and some Baylor alum, but most of the fans are going to be A&M or the University of Houston. You do got some Baylor alums who are doctors, but the Texas, the University of Texas does not benefit the SEC. The University of Oklahoma, damn sure doesn't benefit them.
They benefit themselves.
Exactly. And then, they're gonna be, Oklahoma, after they have a couple of years, a good run of showing their ass, they're gonna be just like Texas A&M, irrelevant. They're gonna be just like the University of Arkansas, irrelevant. Texas is struggling in a Big 12 now. You don't bring nothing to the table. You're not bringing national championships. You only won one national championships. You only won two national championships in the past 50 plus years. And the last time y'all won a national title was in 1969. So you only had LSU during that time period won 3 national titles. The University of Florida have won 3 national championships in that time period. The University of Tennessee has won a national title, at least one. Alabama has won them. Let's not even talk about Alabama because that's just they've won more than anybody. But even if you include that particular time period, that's going to be unfair. Oklahoma has only won 4 national titles in the last 50 years per se. So we don't need them really because you're gonna alter recruiting. LSU should be the main team saying hell no. LS Pepe Le Pew, as I call them, but LSU need to be the main team being like hell no.
I think they is. LSU is. They just ain't been saying nothing. But I want to read this. What I just pulled up on Yahoo. It said
Okay.
The Big 12 conference has sent ESPN a letter demanding the network refrain from communicating with its current membership or with other football subdivision leagues regarding its membership schools. In the latest turn in the expansion drama kicked off by Texas and Oklahoma's projected departure for the SEC. According to Yahoo Sports, which first reports the contents of the letter, and it's a good one. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby accused ESPN of having been actively engaged in discussions with at least one other conference regarding that conference inducing additional members of the Big 12 Conference to lead the Big 12 Conference, which they have. The network is intentionally interfering with our business operations by encouraging other conferences to poach the members of the Big 12 and providing incentives to them to do so, which they are, and it's true. Asked if the letter to ESPN is a precursor to legal action against the company, Bowlesby said, in my estimation, it's clearly a tortious interference with business. And so the cease and desist letter is intended to have that effect. Asked if the conference would take action against schools, the commissioner said, we're prepared to do what we need to protect our business rights. The Big 12 has proof that ESPN would like another league to take 3 to 5 of our members, said Bowlesby. It's not so much about the taking of the members. What it does and what it's intended to do is destabilize the Big 12 so that it implodes, thus absolving Oklahoma and Texas of their grant of rights obligations and their exit fee obligations. If the Big 12 fails to exist as an entity, they can move quicker and they can do so for less money. In a statement to USA Today, ESPN said the claims have no merit. Yeah, right. Man, the network was not involved in Texas or Oklahoma contacting the SEC about possible inclusion. According to a person familiar with the rights deal, the person was granted anonymity because they are not authorized to speak publicly about the matter. In directing its attention on the network, the Big 12 has taken aim at the largest power broker in college sports. ESPN has broadcast deals with each of the Power 5 leagues and owns rights to nearly every bowl game and the television rights to the entirety of the college football playoff. The Big 12 is nearing the end of a 13-year agreement with ESPN and Fox, which is set to expire in 2025. This is putting ESPN on notice that the Big 12 may sue ESPN at some point in the future if Oklahoma and Texas lead the Big 12 before the grant of rights expires. Mitt Whitner, a lawyer who has served as outside counsel to the college athletic conferences, threatening to sue ESPN is going to sour the relationship between the Big 12 and ESPN if the Big 12 continues to exist. I assume ESPN is not going to be happy about receiving that kind of letter. This will likely ultimately comes down to how much the Big 12 is willing to settle or whether it's going to draw a line in the sand. Winter said, there are some issues with suing Texas or Oklahoma because of sovereign immunity. It's hard to sue a state entity. The letter reflects the new reality for the conference, which is set to lose its 2 national brands. The only paths ahead for the Big 12 are to maintain an 18 roster or expand, with both options requiring the potential expansion fathers such as Kansas and West Virginia remain members of the conference rather than join the Big 10 or the ACC. ESPN agreed to a deal late last year with the SEC, ending the league's long-standing relationship with CBS. I didn't know this. Via a 10-year deal worth roughly $300 million annually with a scheduled effective date of 2024. With the Sooners and Longhorns in the fold, SEC revenue could reach upwards to, get this, $1.3 billion during the 24-25 fiscal year, according to research conducted by USA Today. The league's forceful response to this month's expansion news comes days after the Longhorns and Sooners officially informed the Big 12 of their plans not to join the conference's next grants of media rights agreement, which will begin in 2025. The statement was followed by an official request to join the SEC signed by the Oklahoma and Texas University presidents, which drew the SEC's first public acknowledgement of the mutual interest between the nation's strongest conference and 2 of the college football's historic powers.
Man, they can get that without the motherfuckers. What the hell are they talking about? They can get that. They can get billions of dollars without them. Because the SEC is the toughest conference in all of football. They don't need Texas. Really, they don't need another conference team. Now, Clemson would make Clemson, if they were going to get anybody, maybe they could go after Clemson, but even then, that's a I mean they don't need any other conference member. 14 member conference is just that is just what it should be because what benefit that these motherfuckers gonna bring to the SEC other than cock blocking recruiting? That's the only thing they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do. That's the only thing they can do. They're not beneficial to the SEC. They're just not. That's the way
No.
I see it, man.
Yep.
Yep, they're just not beneficial to the SEC at all. But on a very last topic, man, did you read the article about Kareem and Wilt Chamberlain?
I didn't finish reading all of that, but I need to.
I mean, it's pretty open and shut. Because the synopsis of it, okay, when Kareem was a boy, um, you know, of course, Kareem had an interesting childhood. When I say he had an interesting childhood, he was 5'10" when he was 9 years old.
Damn.
I'm only 5'7", so I'm a short pipsqueak, but don't test me. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, he was 5'10" when he was 9 years old. When he became the age of 13, he became 6'9", and that's when he met a prime Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain in his very prime, and he used to come around to Rutger Park all the time because Rutger Park was even big even back then. And he mentored a young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And even by his own admissions, he said he was pretty much a better player than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But to a certain degree, there was a little jealousy toward Kareem to a certain degree. I wouldn't say it all the way. Now, he did criticize Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his play, on you know how he often because Wilt Chamberlain for Wilt Chamberlain to mentor you, you're supposed to be dominating. But here's the he was a little harsh on Kareem Abdul. Now just think about it. When
Mm-hmm.
Wilt Chamberlain played basketball, it was somewhat a physical NBA, but it wasn't there yet. But in the 70s, that's when the physicality got there. And in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's defense, he drew more double teams than any other center in history. He played in the two most physical eras, the 1970s, and the very most physical era, the 1980s. And that's why I said what I said about Tom Chambers yesterday. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer because for him to score 20,000 points in the 80s era to the 90s era, that's hard to do. It was hard. He played against tougher competition. But back to my point on Kareem. Kareem played a lot tougher competition than Wilt Chamberlain. That's not to say Wilt wouldn't have did his thing in that there. He just wasn't going to ever average 50 points in the 70s or 80s. He just wasn't because he would have saw double teams. And that's when teams decided to double team him more. But in spite of that, in the prime of his career, Kareem averaged 28 points with 57% shooting. And, for the career, I think it was like 55, 56%, but that's mainly because of the last year of his career and then the minutes and stuff like that. So his field goal percentage went down. And one of the comments that Wilt Chamberlain said in an interview, I heard this part of the interview, was Kareem does not do it for me in the rebounding department, but he is a hell of a scorer. He's a lot better scorer than I was. So that he was basically complimenting him, but he did say some things, according to the
Mm-hmm.
article, that could have been deemed as jealousy. But one thing I do agree with Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain on is he could have been a better rebounder because after he took the elbow, part of that was he took an elbow to Kent Benson and he knocked his ass out. And he after he knocked Kent Benson ass out, he broke his wrist and he was out for the season. Probably had he not got injured by knocking this dude out, he probably would have went over 40,000 points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also another factor, his career average for rebounding was 11.2. And if you look at total number of rebounds, if you would just include NBA stats only without the ABA, he's the third all-time leading rebounder. But if you include ABA stats, he trails Moses Malone by 400 rebounds. But a lot of that, you got to think about it. Moses Malone on record has the most offensive rebounds in both the ABA or the NBA. He's the all-time offensive rebounding king all time anyway in the NBA. But if
Mhm.
you include the NBA stats, he would almost have 10,000 offensive rebounds, which that's a matter of disputes because they didn't count offensive rebounds with Bill Russell and they didn't count offensive rebounds with Will Chamberlain. So that could be easily disputed. But to my point, had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar stayed on the course, because his rebounding, he went under 10 rebounds a game after the 1980-1981 season, which that was the last year he averaged at least over 10 rebounds. And at that point, he averaged under the 10 rebounds. Had he averaged 10 rebounds uh, from at least 1980 to 1980, I'll say at least 87, he probably would have caught Bill Russell. He probably would have been the second all-time leading rebounder. And if he had averaged those rebounds, at least 10 rebounds a game from that point on, he probably would have caught Wilt Chamberlain. So I kind of understood where Wilt Chamberlain was coming from. But it took a while for their relationship to get back to normal because they used to call each other every day and stuff like that. And then after that interview had took place, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, went off on Wilt Chamberlain, which he had a point. There was times where Wilt Chamberlain, who was physically the strongest man in NBA history,
Mhm.
at his peak weight, he was like 310 pounds, but he was stronger. He was lean. He was a lean 300 pounds, and he was a lot stronger than Shaq. And you had an article. You saw the article I was talking about to understood how strong he was, and he was like, "Damn, he is actually stronger than Shaq." And Artis Gilmore was stronger than Shaq. So those are two. He was the most strongest guy because I think he lifted he could bench press 600 pounds, some shit like that. So he was physically a big dude, but there would be times where against the New York Knicks, for instance, in 1970, when Willis Reed had the game where he came out and the Madison Square Garden crowd went crazy. With Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, Pat Riley coming off the bench, there was no excuse for those guys to lose against that New York Knicks team. I'm not dismissing Willis Reed, Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe came on the second championship team, but we're talking about the first championship team with Jerry Lucas, Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, all those guys in the Hall of Fame. But when you put those LA Laker teams, those were probably the second big. Those what you would probably call the second big super team in NBA history. The Lakers team. You can call them the second big super team, even though they won one championship. They should have beat, with the level of talent they had, they should have beaten the Knicks. The Knicks should have never won a championship with that squad. And he was right to a certain degree. There were times where Wilt just gave up in the game, because he was physically dominant, more dominant than any guy, but he just gave up from time to time. But they had a little strand on their relationship, and they didn't speak to each other for like at least 7 years. And when they finally did speak, they spoke at like the 50 greatest players, and their relationship was never the same. But he did speak at Wilt Chamberlain's funeral, and it was just so unfortunate that those guys really never just had the same relationship. What is your thoughts on that particular? On that particular beef between Wilt Chamberlain, because they brought this up in an article. And what is your thought between the beef between Kareem and Wilt? And did it have any merit on either side?
No. The second question first, no. And then A rivalry, just a rivalry. At least they settle their issues, and and true enough, hey, you did like you said that. Uh, Wilt is though Wilt is was physically dominant for his size and his height, but man, it ain't no merit about that because you get beefs like that every day, whether it's in sports or in real life. So, um, you could tell that some Kareem Wilt's game was in Kareem and vice versa. But
That's true.
no, it ain't. There's nothing in there. It's just somebody. I just said it feels like somebody decided to bring that back up. They ain't had shit else better to do, and it. Dare I say that was just pointless.
Yeah, and like I say, to a certain degree, Wilt was telling the truth. He should have been a better rebounder, and I think he wanted him to be dominant. But again, it's hard to like score, you know, 50 or 40 points a game when you got double teams coming at your ass every damn night. I mean, you know, if Giannis, and I'm gonna be honest, if Giannis saw the double teams Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had, I don't see how that dude scores 40 or even 20 points a game. Because some of the double
Man.
teams that dude experienced was ridiculous. I mean, yeah, you seen some that skyhook wasn't no joke, but those guys. Watch the Game 7 Boston versus the Milwaukee Bucks on the last time that they went to the NBA championship. Those double teams was crazy that they was doing it, throwing at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They had to throw triple and quadruple teams just to hold that man to
Mm-hmm.
4 points. So like shit. That I mean that's the experience. But nonetheless, man, we're talking about arguably the greatest centers of all time there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they had their little rivalry on the court, man, because, um, uh, when Wilt Chamberlain, even out of his prime, he would frustrate Kareem in those games. It would be one step from a fight, in a lot of times. So, definitely RIP to the late great Wilt Chamberlain, man. And, you know, you know, Ashe to my brother Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, though, man. So, yes, sir, man. So, man, you got anything else you want to bring up before we get up out of here?
No, man, that's it. I know Murphy had to cut and run. He had to take care of the business. Little Dolomite himself.
Okay,
But
that's
not
more than
hey,
understandable.
but yeah, but I've lately been getting together, like I said, because shout out to my roadie Jessica Cowan, man, because I think she told me that she's off on Friday and Saturdays from her job, and that's why that's why I said, damn, I said, man, if Jimmy wasn't working on Friday and Saturday, he can go and do this shit, because I wanted you to do uh let's draw something from your end, interviewing her in regards to what it was like working myself and Pops FedEx, and I was gonna send you all the excerpts and stuff, and you can come up with some questions to ask from the excerpts that you read with and stuff, you know. Because I've been I got most of it together, man. It's gonna be pretty informative shows. That way you can share it to the FedEx group, and then share it to me, and then I can tag some folks in there for them to listen to. So
Oh yeah. Well, nevertheless, man.
because
I'm
but hold it
gonna.
thought because if I do it, ain't nobody gonna listen. Won't nobody listen to it. Because if I read my own shit, they'll be there. They'll be like thinking I'm tooting my own horn and stuff. So
Well, next month is gonna be a pretty busy month for me, but I can try to squeeze if I have some days off. If and when I have some days off, where we have a um converging day off, then we can probably get that done then. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty busy in the month of August. I'm trying to get some things done uh before September hits. But we'll keep in touch about that as well. We'll keep in touch. That's not out of the question at all. But we just
right,
want to make sure I get some things accomplished. And speaking of which, I know I'm broadcasting this live on Facebook and on Facebook and on YouTube, but for the most part, I'm taking me like a social media hiatus. The only time I'm really talking I'm talking Messenger, and that's not really on social media. That's almost like text messaging. But for the most part, I'm taking me a social media break, man, because I feel like I'm losing my damn brain cells. And my homeboy Cali Enigma, uh, Cali Enigma, he's doing the same thing. So shout out to the brother Cali Enigma, and definitely subscribe to his channel as well. But I be feeling like I'm losing brain cells sometimes, and I'm just not on social media like that. I'll comment on a thing or two. But if you send me a DM and you don't get a response, it's not me being funny acting. It's just me, nigga. I need some functionality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not as extreme as Simone Biles. So just please know that. And we just got an update saying she completely withdraw from the Olympics, and I respect her wishes. Nonetheless, so just get better, baby. And Jonathan Owens, I think that's her boyfriend's name is. Just stick by her side and be there for her. And if y'all have
Yeah.
to get talk to a psychologist, talk to some counseling, and just be there for her, because she's gonna need it. She's got the weight of the world on her, and she's
Hmm.
not only she is the GOAT, by world championships in the Olympics, but a lot of people consider her the GOAT. So that's a lot of pressure there. Even if it's not no death threats, which I think that's what it is more than anything. Uh, just as much as anything. I wouldn't say more than any, but just as much as anything. Um, I think that is she's being affected by some things. So nonetheless, man, just keep your head up, young sister. Keep your head up, young sister, man. And you know, you know, get it back, man. Because you got some young girls that look up to you at your gym. If you have to take some time off, because she doesn't have an off day when she's practicing her gymnastics. She's a coach, so take some time off. Because like I say, people are paying top dollar for their kids to learn gymnastics. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So take some time off. Everybody understands. Houston, if nobody else understands, Houston understands, because we need our space out here. But nonetheless, I'm chilling on social media. I might take a whole month off. I might take a few more weeks off from social media, but for the most part, other than a couple of comments or likes, you're not gonna see me on there too often. So I'm resting my brain cells, nigga. Shit. So you got anything else, brother?
No, because I may be following that path myself. And in the spin of things, um, because like job kind of been affecting like with my quality of my art and stuff, trying to get stuff done. And it's fine and good when people, I got no problems with people wanting me to draw them a concept for a logo and stuff like that. They're an exception to this rule. But to the ones that be requesting me to draw them a damn pic and you ain't dropping off no money, you ain't in no fucking position to tell me that I need to focus on your stuff for free when I got my stuff that I'm trying to put my time and what's the other word?
Your time and effort.
Thank you. My time and effort, but with my creating on projects that I got to put my time and effort too. Let me repeat this one more time. I don't mind, for the ones that want me to draw a concept or logos or whatever, you are an exception to this rule, so this rule does not apply to you at all. But to the ones that want me to draw pictures of like people and all this other shit, you got a cash app, you better start dropping that money off. Friend or not, I don't care. You don't free your stuff. Your way of thinking. You need to bounce off of that because it's fucked up. I don't do shit for free. Because like right now I'm short on my supplies, so right while I'm short on supplies, I can work on my create on stuff. And then when I get my supplies, yeah, I will work on your stuff. But as of now, if anybody, like, if you want me to do a concept, I'm fine with that. That's cool. That's on
Right.
the house. But if you're talking about one like a concept logo or something that you can roll with, that's fine. That's fine and good. That's on me.
Right.
But if you're talking about wanting me to draw you a picture and all of a sudden want to be the balls to be demanded with me, in which I don't allow people to be demanded with me because don't nobody run me but myself when it comes to
Right.
business and what I got to do. You got to cash out. Um, and if you are some of them old school people that still do Walmart to Walmart, you need your ass whooped. Hurry up and get your ass a cash out. Straight up. Because I ain't finna
Right.
be driving my ass, because I am not going to be driving my ass to no Walmart to send your ass 50, 40, and 50 funky ass dollars or whatever, or got to wait 2 to 3 hours in line, answer about 90 different damn questions like the FBI to receive 40 and 50 funky ass dollars. Cash out. Period. That's how I accept my payments. So when I tell you I'll get to something, I will get to something. You want me to do it right then and there, you better drop off some money. If ain't no money dropped off, you just gonna have to wait in line. Sit down, take a number, wait in line, get on your social media, sip on your orange soda or whatever, whatever it is you drink, smoke your cigarettes, smoke your weed, look stupid all you want to. Cause I'm not from now on, I'm not doing nothing without a deposit or some money.
Yeah. I totally agree
Period.
with that.
Con- Again, if you want me to do a concept sketch of a logo or something, you are an exception to the rule. This does not apply to you. But for all these ones that want to ask me about draw them this, draw them that, you ain't got no money, but want to tell me that, but all someone had a nerve to get pissed off at me because I'm working on stuff that people pay their money for me to do, and not your stuff when you ain't dropped off money. It's something wrong with it's something wrong with your mental process. That's not how I
Yeah.
do business.
Yeah. I mean, they can go fuck themselves for all I care. So, and that's what I would tell them straight up and down.
You know,
So
our boy T Murphy, hey, he been through that shit. Oh, he got stories to tell about that shit.
Oh, oh yeah, and if it's business, and if it's meant to be business, which you don't do that for free, especially with all the resources you got to put in to get it done. Man, look, just if y'all supposed to be doing business, do business. You don't expect people to do something for free, especially if you want quality work. You know what I'm saying? Or you try to strong arm or short change people. So man, get out of here
And
with
and
that.
and, and that tactic there, don't try to. I don't want nobody. Don't nobody dare try that with me. Strong arm tactic.
Yeah. So
Because
you
when I'm
be
done with your ass, you're gonna have a weak arm. Don't strong arm. Don't try
yeah.
to strong arm me. But yeah, I'll tell you one little story. Murph did some work for a client, and this client was real cheap. It was too cheap to pay this man $200 but to go above and beyond for their offspring to throw them to put together a $200 to $300 birthday party. You know,
Right.
and then they had the nerve to ask them because I think this individual had referred one of their friends to him. This person had the nerve, had the balls to find the balls to ask Murph. I referred so and so to you. So what's up with my referral fee?
Right. So
What? I'm like, are they serious? And I asked Murph, I said, was she playing? Said she was serious. No, she was serious, man. That motherfucker was serious. Fuck her. Fuck him.
yeah.
So, yeah, but that's all I got to add, man. And then shit. Sometimes, I might need to take me a social media break myself.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing that because yeah, I'm trying to get some things done. and that can be a distraction just as much as TV, in my personal opinion. So it's important that it, just like television, just like the radio, we need to, like, sometimes we need functionality. We need to focus on getting some things done versus just being on social media and all day and just being unproductive and messy, because a lot of times
Hmm.
it is just as, Facebook and other social media outlets can be just as messy as uh it's just as messy as uh the television or the radio. So, so I'm taking the time out. That don't mean if we don't have the opportunity, we won't be making a live stream. You know what I'm saying? Because, if I have the time, I'm gonna do that. But other than that, I'm good. So just to get some things done. So once those things get done, then hey, we'll roll. So it is what it is. So once
Yep.
again, this your boy, live and direct and full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662 and my other homeboy out the 901. And y'all already know how we do. Peace out and y'all have a good one.
Same here, man. The pleasure has been all yours.